Welcome to Betamax. My name is Fidel, and joining me on this episode is Birdie and returning Gina.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for inviting us back into your home on this perfectly well-structured table.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for driving here from Riverside. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I think I was surprised that you asked me, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I've been wanting to ask you. It's just like our schedules have been pretty sporadic to do it, and so I was like, we can't really commit to doing it ourselves. So I didn't want to be like, oh, you want to do it, and then you agree, and then we aren't able to do it. You know?
No, shit happens all the time. So. Yeah. But I'm happy you guys are here.
Yeah, hell yeah. So how you been?
Good. I think the last time we recorded it was like 2019. So
yeah, I was telling
him. The whole last pandemic happened.
Yeah.
The world was ended like 3 different times.
Yeah.
But, I was talking to him about that on the way here because I was like, dude, I re-listened to the episode.
Okay.
And I hate the way it sounds.
Really?
Yeah, just because but then it made me realize okay, I've gotten a lot better with the levels on stuff
you
since
guys have
we started.
A whole setup.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I guess that's the silver lining of it. But then as I was listening to it, it was so engaging, and I was like, okay, the sound doesn't bother me that much anymore. So that's why I like talking to you, because you're very enthusiastic and you make it very, very listenable.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully I don't fuck it up. Pressure's on.
But then it also made me realize damn, we've been doing this podcast for that long. Since 2019. I didn't even realize.
But you guys are consistent. I know it's hard to get together and do it, but it shows that you have a passion for it and you care. And then I noticed all the artwork is kind of rips on albums. And
that was Birdie's idea to start doing that.
It's sick. Who does the designs of those?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you freaking go. I know. Jack of all trades. Yeah,
it's
awesome.
all right.
Yeah, it shows when someone puts their heart and soul into something. And doing the podcast truly was one of my highlights of just me. I don't do much, and so I was like, damn. And then you asked me again. I was like, girl, I'm gonna cry.
Oh hell yeah! Well, yeah, you've been a pretty big supporter of us since we started. You've always been giving us positive feedback. So I've definitely wanted to have you back on.
Of course. Well, you have always supported my music, so it's the least I could do, honestly.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
I saw you played with Human Garbage last night.
Yeah, yesterday I played with Human Garbage at midnight hour with Click. Shout out Click. They're so freaking good.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited we got to play with them, and Bare Minimum from the 805 here. So we played at midnight hour, and then earlier that day I also played an acoustic set at Burger Lord. So I had
I saw that too.
Double duty yesterday.
How was that?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was kind of funny playing a small little restaurant, and
yeah.
I get really scared to just play acoustic alone, at least with bands, it's not, so they can look at something else or someone else.
Yeah.
And it's just me, and so I can't hide behind my loud guitar or step behind somebody, so I get more nervous, but it was really fun. A lot of my friends were there. The homegirl Kat hooked it up, asked me to play, so I felt a lot more comfortable with my friends around. And I got free food, and it's my favorite vegan burger. So
Burger Lords?
It was sick, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've had one of their burgers. They were at Sound and Fury, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where I had their burger. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've never been to Sound and Fury.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been to any hardcore fest.
No?
Except, actually, Grave School played something in Arizona once. I think it was a hardcore fest, but I've never... Oh, no, that's not true. We played this for the children.
Oh, okay.
But I've never been to Sound of Fury. That was my point.
No? Are you not into festivals?
I don't know. I just never went.
No?
So I don't know. So maybe next year I'll go, or maybe I'll play. We'll see.
That'll be tight.
Yeah, I don't think so, but
you don't think it'll be tight?
No, I think it'll be tight. But I want to go. I want to go because everyone always has oh yeah, I tried Sound of Fury or Sound of Fury, and I watched the videos of it, and I'm like, damn, that shit is sick. There were so many people there.
Yeah.
And the homie Cola Boy from here in 805, shout out Oxnard, and he played it too, so it's not just hardcore bands. So.
Yeah, they're expanding more.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. I love that guy's music.
What was that?
I love that guy's music.
Yeah, he's so fucking bomb.
How did you get into Cola Boy?
Well, when I had an IG, I think you had posted him,
oh really?
Or someone had posted him, and yeah, like I had seen him and I heard him, and then yeah, I was pretty hooked on like his music when he first came out.
He's been doing it forever, and he's a real one. Like, he's fucking sick. He puts down for Oxnard. He writes shit that he wants to write, and it's sick.
Yeah, because I was at Sound and Fury, and like I had never heard Cola Boy. I had no idea who that was. And then they started playing, and I was like, "Whoa, this is different." But I was like, "Oh, this is fucking tight."
Yeah.
Like, it was cool. It was a cool like change of pace for the festival, like just to have like a different style of music, but have it actually be good, you know?
Yeah, I think what it shows, like, you know, a disco solo act can play a hardcore fest.
Yeah.
Like, music goes a really long way, you know.
Yeah. So you would want to play Sound and Fury?
I mean, of course, it would be awesome.
With who? With who? Like what?
Honestly,
which band?
I feel like at this point I just fill in for bands. I think I hardly have my own thing, but I don't care. I would just to play it would be fucking cool. Just to go, honestly, just to go. And I could buy a ticket, obviously, which I will probably especially after seeing all the videos.
Yeah.
There's no reason why I didn't go before. Just like I always just slept on getting a pass, or like I get a lot of anxiety in like big crowds and shit, so I usually avoid it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Of course, I'd love to play, but I think I'll probably just go anyways because I want to see my friends playing it most of all, you know, because it's so cool, and it seems like it gets bigger every year.
Yeah, because last year was the first time it was outdoors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and I believe this year it's going to be outdoors as well.
Is it going to be in the same place?
Yeah.
Okay.
From what I read, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I got my pass already. So.
Okay. Right. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
But like I said, I was listening to the last episode that we did with you, and we talked a lot about like your music and stuff. But one thing I noticed that we didn't touch on, and I want to ask you about, is how did you get into hardcore?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I did another podcast yesterday, and it wasn't the same question, but similarly.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I don't know. I think so. I had always been into like, I don't know, aggressive music, I guess, but probably not very good ones. So I would like, in Simi, there really wasn't much of a hardcore scene, and my mom didn't want me to leave and like go to shows and shit. Yeah. So I had like literally MySpace. So I would go on MySpace a bunch, and like I was listening to like, scene music and like metalcore.
That's what's up.
And then I think my friend's boyfriend at the time was playing like Cruel Hand in the car, and I was like, what is this? Like, it was so sick. And then there wasn't Spotify or anything, so I put like Cruel Hand on Pandora Radio. Yeah. And I found like a bunch of stuff, like Down to Nothing, like just a bunch of fucking bands of that time. Bane was one of them, and I was like, what the fuck? This is so much cooler than Escape the Fate or like some corny shit that I would listen to. Yeah. And then I would always go like on Facebook or MySpace, and I'd look up like the band's page, or like, and I would see that these bands play in the Valley at Cobalt. And so just from there, like I was like, oh, cool. Like I think the first show I went there was like Alpha and Omega or something like that. And yeah, just from there I just kept going, because there wasn't a lot going on, like I said, in Simi that was especially hardcore music. Yeah. So I guess Cruel Hand was the first band I listened to, which is funny, and Pandora Radio like expanded it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Cruel Hand, like Down to Nothing, all those bands like were pretty similar for me. Yeah. Like, cause for me, like I got into more of like that beatdown style hardcore first. And I remember starting to go to like Chain and like Showcase and Corona. Yeah. That's when I started expanding more on those type of bands. But Cruel Hand, it's funny, I actually didn't really get into them that much when I first heard them. And I remember seeing them at Chain. And when the album's called Without a Pulse, I think. Yeah, that had come out, and I remember seeing them at Chain, and that's what like changed my mind on them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
So like that's when I started being more like, okay, I got to give the band a chance live, before I like make my own judgment on them. But yeah, I remember that show being pretty wild.
Wow, I think the first record I ever bought, because I didn't have a record player for honestly years, but I would like buy records still. I honestly think it was Without a Pulse. Yeah? But I think it was like a 7-inch or something like that.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. But yeah, it's interesting how like the energy of a live show can change your perspective
Yeah.
on a band. There's a lot of bands I'm like, yeah, the recordings are whatever, but like I'll see them live every time, and sometimes vice versa. Sometimes like the recordings are bomb, and this, you're like, oh, when you see them live.
Yeah. Do you want to shout out any bands like that?
My own Sheer.
I like seeing you guys perform. Like, I think you guys put on a good show.
I feel, thank you, first of all, but I know Sean and Vince and Andy, they're so like smart when it comes to like sound and tone, and I learned a lot from them too. So I know like we really pay attention and really focus on that, not just in recording but live as well. And I honestly just take their lead. They'll kind of recommend, oh, you should try this out, you should try this. So yeah. I really give it up to the guys to make it sound good. I know in the beginning we would just, play fucking too many full stocks and just turn it up and you could never hear me. But now we all play like combo amps, and I have a vocal pedal now. So especially now lately, the past few shows, which haven't really been many or as frequent, I guess, I'm really liking how we sound live, probably more than I have before, because it's more balanced, but it's still really full. And it just speaks more to how we want to sound versus like, big amps in a tiny space. You just get washed out. So, yeah.
How's the crowd reaction been?
So Shears played 2 shows, I think, in the last year at All Kinds Studios in Ventura, here in the 805. And it's like a really tiny room. Like, I know right now we're in my kitchen. It's probably like the size of my kitchen. And it's a DIY space, so a lot of kids right now, especially in the 805, like the scene is like a lot of youth. Like there's a lot of young kids playing. Shout out Cameron if he's listening. BC Hardcore shows, always booking. There's a full name Thomas, TBD Presents, always booking. So a lot of kids go, and the kids are like, I'm surprised, like they like our music, like they at the punk shows at like a place in Oxnard called CFF, like they pop off every time. Almost every band they're pitting, like there's always the same kids a bunch of times, and the energy is like so fucking cool. And even like when I was younger, starting to go to shows out here, I don't feel like it was as cool, as inclusive either. Like all different kinds of people going. And so people really liked Sheer, and I'm so grateful for that. Especially like I'm like, damn, like as an almost 30 something, I'm like, damn, okay, you still got it,
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I give it up to the youth for sure. Like they're the reason why the 805 is popping, and like I said, Cameron especially is like booking shows, and so I feel like out here the scene is like something special, and a lot of people I think overlook the 805 because at the time, like Downpresser, Dead, he was playing all, like, we had a moment for sure, but definitely it like slowed down, it stopped, and we play like a lot of bar shows out here, and it's not always like the right vibe. There wasn't a lot of all ages shows, and so now that there's these places, like the CFF is like a family owned dance hall, so the homies Cameron, Louise, Vince, like they're taking care of the spaces and making sure like all young kids can go. And, like, that's important, it's, like, you have to cater, those are the people listening to your music. Like, a lot of people now, like, as we got older, like, not as many people are around, people have families, like, they're busy, or they're just not into music anymore, like, that was their phase and they left, which is, like, couldn't be me, But, it's so, like, if you're not, like, giving something for these kids to, like, be involved with and engage, and also like listening to them and not like forcing some old head mentality on them, you'll have great turnout and great energy like we have right now. So I feel really grateful that we got to play those shows out here, and more to come, I'm sure. So yeah, it's really something special out here.
Yeah, because one thing I am noticing about just shows in general nowadays, there's a lot more mixed bills than there used to be, which is tight. Like, I love that shit.
Yeah, I think that's sweet. I think actually on Thursday I'm doing an acoustic set at a skateboarding shop. Shout out Rapid Skateboarding and See Me, and I'm like by myself playing acoustic, and I think there's like 2 hardcore bands playing, and this like sick rock band called Out West is playing it too. And so even me, I've been most of the shows I'm playing have been like hardcore shows. And the first solo show I did after the pandemic. I played with Entry.
Oh yeah, I was at that show.
Yeah. And I'm like, I was a little like acoustic solo act, and like all the girlies be out here fucking rocking and moshing.
Yeah.
So it's sick. I know that's what I'm a part of. Kind of goes back to Cola Boy. Like even him out here, he'd be doing shit like that. And you know, I think it's just cool to have that. It expands people's taste and like it gives you a different perspective and around a different crowd. So.
Yeah, because I remember there was a show that Grave School played with ACXDC.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember being inside and you guys were setting up, and there's like this group of guys in front of me, and then you guys started playing, and then they looked at each other and walked out.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think they probably like saw the name because you guys use like Old English on the flyer for the name, so they probably thought like, oh, it's gonna be like a metal band or something.
Yeah, and then they see me, hi everyone.
But I was like, man, like,
well, Aldo too. Aldo's in the band too.
Yeah, Aldo's in the band too. I just think like I wish people would be more open to like different like genres, I guess you could say.
When was that show?
It's probably like 2016.
Was it? Was it that long ago?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
The crowd must have changed by then, obviously. But,
yeah.
But I wanted to go back to something you had mentioned, being part of like being around the younger crowd, because you're definitely someone that's like, I mean, I don't know like a lot of people, but I mean, you're someone who's like extremely talented in my eyes.
Thank you.
And a lot of the music you push out, like I'm always like, damn, I came out of that person that early.
Aww.
Yeah, but I mean, I wanted to ask you, because I thought it was, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that about the younger crowd, about how like you have to cater to them, and you have to kind of let them know like you can listen to this if you want, but if you don't, that's totally cool, but I'm not going to tell you shit. But is that like inspiring to you, like at all? Because because you're, like I said, like I would consider you someone to look up to musically.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I guess what I meant by that is like, and this kind of speaks to like whatever those freaking weirdos walking away, you know, but I think, I don't know, it's just, I'll kind of answer it in a weird way maybe, but like there's this mentality, especially with like old, like the old heads, or like even, you know, people my age, I'm 29, so like millennials, like, because you had your moment in the scene, you own it. And honestly, it's a lot of men that do that.
Yeah.
And it's like your way or the highway. It's like, motherfucker, you don't go to shows. You're not around. You don't play in a band. You're washed up. Like, you don't get to dictate what younger kids do at shows anymore. And that's what I mean by like catering to the kids. Like, it's not fucking for you. It was, you came in new with a scene that was already established without you going. And so now that you had your moment, you don't get to fucking get to decide how it goes. And there's still a lot of that. Like, there's still a lot of like, oh, back in my day, it was only punk music. And even me, I feel self-conscious playing like acoustic sets, and oh, people are going to think I'm like, some kumbaya shit, you know? but it's like, it's that shit, especially like out here, like obviously there's a lot of old nerdcore fools, and I like, again, I was in SEMI, so I didn't go to a lot of shows like when I was like in high school out here. But there's like, when people book shows that aren't all ages, and they're like, yeah, no one shows up, or, you know, not to talk shit, but I see people like, oh, like all the kids that go to shows are just like from TikTok. It's like, well, motherfucker, you found shit from the internet too. Tumblr, MySpace, fucking Instagram. TikTok is what they use. They're fucking kids. They're finding something like hardcore aside, or even indie shows, that's something to like give them something to do, especially out here. And so like, let them fucking rock. Like, let them do shit. Like, it's not up to you. It's like they're fucking like scene cops, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, thank you for the kind words. I don't think I have anything. They're going to go to shows regardless of whether or not my bands are playing or if I'm still playing music. Like, it's not about me. Like, there's a lot of bands out here. There's a band from out in Oxnard called Crucial Thought with like Latina women in it. You know, I assume that they're, you know, female presenting, but there's a lot more of like younger women going. A lot of queer people going, a lot of people of color. It's like, it's a much different time. than when I would first start going to shows.
Yeah, definitely.
And even on the podcast I did yesterday, I was kind of talking about like just started going to the Cobalt. Like there wasn't a lot of girls. Like a lot of people made fun of the girls for moshing, or like they would just be like, I felt like I was being like ogled at or like sexualized. And like that does not happen, at least out here.
Yeah.
And it's like it's that old head mentality that makes it like not a welcoming place, and not like it's like, you know, the community fun center, like you're coming to a hardcore show, but it's like, you know, just get that fucking whack ass out of here.
Yeah.
You know, like what the fuck, go somewhere else. You know, we don't need you.
Yeah, I it's just such a breath of fresh air to hear you say that, because I mean, me personally, I know you do, but I don't really go out as much. You know what I mean? Like do shows, and I don't have a social media presence anymore, so I don't know like what's going on out there. Like I'm like, this is like my connection to like the music, like in Southern California. We all
need one of those.
Yeah,
I'm his internet.
Yeah,
dial up.
Like on the way here, he was showing me like some Lester music.
Oh, I love Lester. Shout out Lester.
Yeah,
the freaking legends.
But yeah, like I was saying, it's such a breath of fresh air to hear you talk like this, because I feel like back then when I did have like a social media presence and I was like looking around and I was going out a lot more, like I don't know, it just didn't feel inclusive enough.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, I mean, it's cool being around people, like being around people that like stuff that you like, but it's like it gets boring after a while, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I'd rather hang out with people like, you know, that are like that can teach me something, you know.
Yeah.
They can like show me something new. So it's like, yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh,
from
you.
Like, I consider you an artist, so like from an artist standpoint, I super appreciate that.
Well, you said thank you, by the way, but like you said the word stale, like, yeah, I mean, for a while, like a lot of hardcore shit just sounded the same.
Yeah.
And like all the fools in those bands look the fucking same.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this shit is boring. Like,
Yeah.
do something different. And like, there's so many, especially right now. Like again, going back to Sound and Fury, like so many different sounds, so many different types of bands. Like,
yeah.
And I remember, like, even back in the day, like, people would be like, oh, there's not enough women on this bill. There's not enough this. And honestly, there wasn't enough women bands. Like, just start the band. Just do it. And now that and by letting these kids go to shows, like, other people besides, like, old white fools, like, you'll get something different and interesting. But when you're blocking them out and just like, you and your fucking same old crew, and now you want to talk shit on the Twitter, like, then you're gonna get the same shit and you're gonna be boring and you're never gonna be better than you were before.
Yeah.
And also like your time has passed, you know, it's a new era, so like,
definitely.
you know, humble yourself. But
yeah, because we were talking about that recently too, about how like we run into like a couple hits like once in a while where it's just like, last time I saw you was like 4 years ago, and you haven't really progressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
fucking
like
burnouts, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what's up with that, dude? Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's other music out there, right? Like, it's pretty good too. Like, it's not bad.
I mean, you like what you like for sure. Like, you don't have to love everything, but like, you don't get to talk shit about everything you like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can just not like it and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
hard. Especially on the internet, girl. That shit gets me.
Oh man.
I delete my social media like constantly, or I try not to be on it. Like, I'll post for music right now because I'm a little bit more active.
Mm-hmm.
But especially like that shit just makes me so mad. Like,
Yeah.
do something else. Go fucking write a song. If you hate all those other songs, get your log out, bud. Log out, unplug, and go pick up your guitar and write something. Otherwise, be quiet.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I love hearing you talk like this, dude. Because like,
You got me riled up today.
because like I think like when we first interviewed you, you were pretty reserved. Like, you're pretty shy. But I mean, I love everything you've been saying since we started talking. But
I feel like lately, I was telling Aldo actually like months ago, and my boyfriend is Sean. Obviously, like I'm feeling like guilty, but I'm fucking mad lately. Like,
Yeah.
I've just been, because I've been so like quiet. I feel bad about speaking up. I don't say much, or I'm afraid people make fun of me. Like, I don't give a fuck as much anymore. Probably just getting older. Therapy obviously helps, but so I have seen so much fucking BS. I've been writing music since I've been like 14, 15, going to shows young, so it's like, to see like the same people screaming into the void about some fucking bullshit, I'm like, I'm tired of you bitches.
Yeah.
You know, like honestly.
Hell yeah.
Damn, dude, you're inspiring.
I'm about to go kick some ass after this.
Let's go to the bar and just start a fight.
No, it's funny that he was saying like he doesn't have like an online presence like anymore. Because on the way here, we're talking about this new show, or I mentioned this new show by Donald Glover.
Oh, okay.
Called Swarm. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Well, I was telling him about it, and because I haven't seen it yet either.
Okay.
But I was reading about how it's about like stan culture.
Oh my god.
And then he was like, what is that?
Oh.
I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, what's? I was like, you don't know the term stan? And he goes, no, what is that?
He's like, Stan Lee.
But that's when I realized, like, damn, he really doesn't have like an online presence anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and then we were hanging out with like the homies like last weekend because we had went to that AFI show, and like they were like saying all these words, and then they were like, I just hear someone go, huh, birdie. And I'm like, what does that mean? And they're like, what the fuck? Like, what are you... And they said the same thing, too. They're like, damn, you really stay off the internet, huh? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I got to get back on before, like, I step out the door and, like, someone else tells me some weird phrase. And I'm just like, fuck, should I pull out Google Translate?
Dude, it ages you fast. You're out for, like, 2 weeks. And I'm like, damn, like,
yeah,
there's so much new lingo now. Like,
yeah, it's been, like, almost 2 years. So
I know
like,
when I'm not on it, I have to, like, ask my friends, like, so what's the shows? Like, what's going on? Like, I literally, like, at least for me, like, I don't really text my friends as much. Everyone's busy, but, like, I literally don't know what anyone's doing when I'm not checking my social media. And I deleted, like recently, and I was like, damn, this fool got married? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know anything. So I always have to go back in and just, like, lurk a little bit just to, like, catch up. Because, yeah, I mean, you lose out on, like, the lingo. But I'm like, I just, for real, don't even know what people are doing.
Yeah.
That's also just because I stay home a lot. Like, I don't. But, so you either got to, like, lurk on the internet or, like, go out a little bit more. You know?
True.
But social media is a rough place sometimes. So
yeah, it could definitely be dumb.
Yeah, which is why.
But it can be cool at the same time.
Yeah,
you know. But
which is why I got rid of it. I was like, my mind's melting. I can't be on this.
Yeah, for me, I like those platforms are designed to like control your mind, not to sound like smoked out. But
damn, are you high right now?
No. But no. Yeah, I mean, they're meant for you to just doom scroll constantly, and you can find some great shit on there, great music, great shows. But for me personally, I get caught in the fucking web sometimes, and I'm just like on TikTok for hours. Or it's a tool, right? Yeah. So it's like finding the balance. But when you're fucking sucked in there, it's like,
oh yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
It definitely helps. Like you said, like you log on a lot more often nowadays, but because you're so musically involved.
Yeah,
and
it's a marketing thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I also love the fact that you said that thing about TikTok.
Yeah,
because I was like, I legit like last year, like I was like fucking TikTok music, like what the, like, and then I remember hearing myself saying like talking like that and being like, ugh. That was gross, dude. Like I can't believe I just said that, you know. But I love the fact that you said like dude, back in our days, like, I mean,
back in my day.
There I go again. Like, disinfect this mic, dude, because I'm being gross right now.
No.
But yeah, like, I mean, back when we were younger, it's like MySpace and like Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And I mean, I'm pretty sure like old heads were looking at us being like, the fuck is MySpace?
Yeah,
you know,
they're like just go to the record store.
Yeah, back in my day, go to the record store. You know, that's how you find shit.
So
but I mean, part of that's still pretty good, you know. But
yeah,
there's still some cringy shit online.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I feel like probably like 85% of whatever's online is kind of like ugh.
Yeah, but then the 15% is like the good dog videos.
Oh, I love those dog videos.
And that's why I'd be on there for hours. I like constantly, I'm like, Alonso, look at this. You know, like, I save like 5 of them, so when he comes home from work, I'm like, all right, look.
I do love that you said that though, because you're man, you're like 100% accurate to say that. It's like, let them be, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, let them find us like in their own way, because I mean, who are we to be like do this or look at that, you know?
Yeah.
One thing about that too is like when back in my day, like these kids are growing up on the internet, so they're still fucking kids, and so they're still cringy, they're still learning, but now we all just get to watch it. Yeah. And so like when we had our cringy phase, like it wasn't as public, and like we were just around everyone who was equally as cringy, but now there's eyes on them constantly, so like you're judging them, but like they're fucking figuring it out just like you. Yeah. Shut the fuck up, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, you're reading my mind, dude. But to kind of stray away from this topic, I wanted to go back to you musically. Is there anything that you're wanting to do that isn't sheer or I mean, all that other shit? I mean, it's not shit. Sorry.
I'm out of here.
Then your friends are gonna hit you up. Who's this fucking birdie guy that just called? But is there anything else like you want to do, like in an ambitious project that you're like, man, I just want to learn this instrument and do that, and like?
No, definitely. I am someone who's like never really satisfied, which is like a blessing and a curse, you know. So I always want to do something else. I always like, that's just who I am. I'm very driven, and I always like trying new things. Like I have too many hobbies, honestly. But as far as music, like I recorded by myself like a punk project. It's not very good. but I want to like take some of the songs and like make the riffs faster, and you know, I'm like in my room yelling when no one's home, like going back to me being angry. I'm like, well, I need somewhere to put it, right? I can't bitch about people bitching online and then go bitch online, you know? So I wrote a punk demo instead. So I do want to try that. That honestly, it makes me really nervous because it's like, oh fuck, you know, it's like scary. I've never done that. So I do want to work on that. You know, maybe I have a lot of talented, amazing friends, especially who write aggressive music. So I'm sure I can like go to the homies for help. And so I do eventually want to do that, even if I never release it, just to say like,
you did it.
I did it. And I want to write like a solo album, and because I do a lot of like, I have like 20 demos that are just like not done. It's bits and pieces. Then there's a bunch of sheer stuff that's not done. So I want to have my own release. And for a while, like, you know, Linda Susan, I was like, I'm going to do everything myself. It's just for me. But I'm like too independent. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, if I want something to be good, like I need to ask for help. And so Sean, you know, the bestie, he's my roommate, a talented audio engineer. I'm like, I have a studio here in my house. Like, so I want to work with him and finish a lot of the songs to have my own thing. The punk demo. And honestly, I just want to be like, I want to be in like different bands. Like I want to play a bunch of different music. I was telling you guys earlier, I got a lap steel guitar. So I've been trying to write like a lot more like country influence type things. Just writing a bunch of different stuff, and you know, eventually it just becomes one thing. But I don't know, I just love to play. I love to rock. So yeah, literally most of the time someone asks me to play, I'll say yes, you know. Unless it sucks, I might be like, oh, I can't that day.
Oh, damn, actually.
I'm going to be sick that day. So
Hell yeah, brother. That shit rules, dude. Like, yeah, I like hearing that.
Yeah, I got a synth. I was trying to like DJ for a little bit, but that shit is fucking hard. And they have so much gear. Like, you need so much stuff. So I have a lot of ideas, but it's a long list. So I tend to just try to do everything at once. So I just need to like be more focused on one thing, and like I said, ask for the help that I need, and then things will get done. Otherwise I just like stay collecting all these ideas, and like my hands are like all over the place, and so I don't really make a lot of progress doing that.
How did you playing with Military Gun happen?
Shout out Taylor Young, the man, the myth, the legend, Van Nuys Prime Minister.
Pit Recording Studios,
yeah,
right?
Shout out the Pit. So I guess, you know, their Military Gun is going to be taking over the world this year. You know, Ian and the guys are so hardworking, so creative, and they have a lot of things planned. So I think they have a lot of tours coming up, and they're just looking for people to kind of, when they need them, to come in and play. And so Taylor mentioned that, you know, maybe I could try it out, and so I did, and I played like 3 or 4 shows with them, And it was amazing. They're like the nicest fools ever. I already loved Military Gun before that. So they asked me and I was like, oh, fuck, this is scary, you know? And those were like, we played the Roxy. It was sold out. I'm like, that's probably one of the biggest shows, if not the biggest show I've ever played in my life. Which is like, to them, it's probably, they're going to be doing that and then some, you know? So it was really fun. I feel like really honored that I got to play and really lucky. Like I said, they're such talented musicians and not even just music. Like all of them have this other art that they do that's like so fucking good. So I'm like, damn, if they're asking me, maybe I'm not so bad, you know? So it was really fun and it was just awesome. And they got a record coming out this year. And I know Ian has like 1 million songs. This fool is like a machine. So I don't know if I answered your question, but
no, because I saw them play. They played like down the street from our house, like at a bar. Yeah.
Oh, really? Cool.
And I was like, what the hell? Like I didn't even know this place had shows.
Oh wow.
So I remember going. It was a really small place, but it was packed. People were going crazy for them.
Yeah.
It was tight.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, my bands are like more slow. Like people mosh for Human Garbage, but the first show I played with them, it was in San Diego. And I was, of course, like, I'm always in my head. I'm always, like, real nervous. I'm a perfectionist, too. So I'm like, all right, don't fuck up. Play like this, you know? And I remember, like, the set was already starting. Kids were going crazy. And Ian just was like, hey, look out at the crowd. Like, look, take a look at what's happening. And I was like, holy fuck, this is crazy. And it's sick. Like, they did that shit, you know? I'm just up there, like, being lucky enough to rock and see that. But the energy is so cool. And people fucking love them. And rightfully so, you know? But yeah, it's sick. It's so fucking cool because, you know, Linda Susan, people aren't going off for, like, like I said, the Kumbaya vibes. So I thought that was so fucking cool. And it just, even people I know, like, we play the Roxy. I see some kids from the 805, like, you know, the homie from Rapid Skateboarding just going off. And I'm like, that's so fucking cool. I love that.
Yeah, because I saw when you posted that you were going to play with them, and I was like, oh, I wonder if she's going to play with them in Riverside, too.
Aw.
But,
but
it was cool.
We played the High Desert, too, which was really cool. And then we played, I played with them at the House of Blues with Thrice. That was like a legit venue. I was like, damn, this isn't the little DIY dance hall that I know. But it was awesome. Like, it was such a great experience, and they have so many people that could play with them. So I don't know if I'll play with them again. Hopefully I do. But I mean, like I said, they're just gonna be getting bigger and better, and they deserve all of that. They work so fucking hard, so it was just awesome. Then even if that's the only thing I do with them, I feel it like really changed my life. Even if it was like 3 shows, I'm like, it showed me like what else is possible beyond like my little bubble. And to see them grinding like that, I'm like, yeah, let's freaking go. You know, that's real artistry for sure.
Fuck yeah.
Ian, do you know if he still does music videos?
I think so, yeah. I think him and his lady, they just did a video for Initiate, because shout out Initiate.
Oh, is that the one they're like out in the desert, I think, or something? Yeah. Oh, that video's cool. So
the fucking homies in Initiate. So, and I know they just did a Military Gun one, so I think he also helped with that. And Will, who plays guitar for Military Gun, is like an amazing like video editor and graphic designer. So he helps as well. Like I said, Ian's girlfriend, Audrey, she's really talented in that way as well. So I think they're still keeping that going. And I know Ian's like producing a lot too. So
oh, wow.
That fool's doing everything.
Everything, man. Jack of all trades.
Yeah, the legend over there.
Would you want him to do a music video for Sheer?
Of course. Like I said, he's so great, but we don't really have like, we need to finish our shit before we even think about that, you know?
Yeah. Because you guys have one, right? Just the one music video?
Oh my God, yes. It's embarrassing.
Why is that embarrassing?
I mean, shout out Colin who did. I'm shouting out everyone on this, by the way. But no, it was good. It's just, you know, it's the only music video I've ever done before. I have a grade school one, but that was the first and only one I did at the time. Mm-hmm. And it's like a lot of slow motion, and I'm like trying to act like look all sad, but you could tell I'm just like, oh fuck, I'm gonna laugh. You know? And I had to like cross the street in Hollywood, and they have like a drone filming me, and people are like looking at the drone and looking at me, and I was like, okay, just keep looking forward. Like I could just see myself being like, this is so fucking not serious. It was crazy.
How do you feel about that? The concept of music videos for me, like certain types of music. Because we were talking about that earlier. because we were like, it must be hard making a music video for like a hardcore band. Or
No
like
way. No, you know what I think? First of all, I fucking love a music video.
Yeah.
And actually, before I started making music, I was like this music video. I would like go on like MTV or like VH1, and I would write down my favorite music videos for the week and talk about it with this girl at school. And like on Xbox, there would be like the car video replays, and you could put in a CD, and I would make like gameplay music videos. So like going back to like you're saying, like I think that if you already go into it like, okay, a hardcore band's music video has to look like this, then yeah, it's hard because it's generic. But there's so many things you can do. You can make like the softest video or like something real abstract and artsy, and it makes it, you know, like, or you can just have the bunch of live shots and shit.
Yeah.
But I wish everyone had music videos because there's so much you can do, and it adds to the song, or it can just be a visual to the song that's like contrast to that, I guess, and it gives a different perspective visually as well.
Man, that's tight. That was probably like the best response to that argument that I ever had.
Yeah, I think my favorite videos are like the least literal, and I love like just like a DIY hi-8 video where it's just like you can just tell they're just homies fucking around.
Yeah.
Like that shit's sick, but yeah, a high-end produced one is cool. I know Regulate had like a really cool video. They're just playing live in there, but the edits are fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like it's sick. Like there's so much you can do. So it's awesome.
Yeah, because I mostly like the ones like when it comes to like aggressive music that are either kind of like short film almost, or if it's like a live like setting, you know?
Yeah.
Like one that comes to mind is the latest Zulu music video.
Yes, that one's so it's beautiful.
That one, is beautiful.
It's very good. And you can do something like that, and you could watch that, and it's like it has like a softness to it, but it has so many emotions going on to it, and you could just listen to the song and like, oh, this is an angry song, but like it's so much deeper than that.
Yeah.
And that's represented even further in the music video.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I think everyone should do them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it can get lost, so it's like you get to show a visual interpretation of what that song is for you. And sometimes it could just be like silly and goofy, you know?
Yeah.
Tight.
Like grade school in an apartment kitchen, some fool making pancakes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
I honestly don't even know who that fool is to this day.
Really?
I'm like, he was just there, and I was like, all right, homie doesn't have a shirt, and there's pancakes, all right. I don't get to eat any either because I'm vegan. You know?
Wasn't Aldo like in the bathroom playing drums in that one? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Was he like taking his shit while he's playing?
No.
Ew.
Damn, he should have. That would have been tight.
We would have got more views, honestly.
It's kind of steering away from like music talk. Are you watching anything right now?
This is gonna be something controversial yet brave. So I don't watch movies. I don't watch movies. Although lately my boyfriend loves movies, so I'll watch, you know, whatever he puts on. But I've been watching like that show Alone on Netflix, where they're like in the wilderness by themselves for like 100 days.
Oh, so it's like a reality show type of thing?
I fucking love reality TV.
Oh, I love reality TV.
I love RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
I think that's probably like my favorite show. But otherwise, I'll watch Alone. And then I saw The Whale. The Whale was great.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
I fucking cried like a little ass baby.
Yeah?
Yeah, that movie's great.
Yeah, it was so good. I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, I love that movie.
And a lot of it was filmed in Simi Valley.
Oh, really?
A lot of movies are filmed in Simi.
Yeah.
And that movie, they film in the hills and at like the mall there.
Yeah.
So it just like made it even cooler. But that shit was so good. I loved it.
Yeah, I love that movie. That movie made me cry for real.
I like when a movie makes me cry.
Yeah.
But then my thing is why I don't like movies is I know they're supposed to make you feel like emotions.
Yeah.
But like I already have a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
So sometimes that shit overwhelms me that I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And honestly, I watch too much TikTok, so I just get bored really quickly. So I'm like, yeah, I'm out. I'm not going to watch that. So usually I'll wait for it to come on TV. But I did see those in theaters, and I'm like, yeah, that was fucking good. I think I go more towards reality TV or like documentaries. So I saw a documentary, I forgot what it's called, but it was basically like the Black Woodstock. So like in the 60s and 70s, they had like a music festival in like, I want to say the Bronx or Brooklyn, somewhere in New York. And it was like a lot of black artists and like Motown shit, and it didn't get as much hype or anything like Woodstock did. And there were so many legendary people who played that. So I saw that. I thought that was really interesting. But other than that, I don't really watch anything.
Damn, that's gnarly. So you don't like watch movies?
I literally like don't watch movies. I read books, which is like so boring.
What are you reading? Any recommendations? Because I've been trying to get back into reading. Because for a while I was reading, but like TikTok has ruined my attention span.
Look, TikTok is being watched more than the books are being read. I'm gonna keep it real. But I feel so hesitant saying it because it's gonna make me sound like a social justice warrior. But I read a lot of like social justice, I guess, racial theory books. So I read one recently called White Tears, Brown Scars, which is fucking amazing. If you're a white woman, it's a must-read, girl. I don't make the rules.
You hear that, Birdie?
Yeah. And I'm reading one. So my uncle is a professor of Chicano studies at San Francisco State. And so he wrote a lot of books. I just never read them. So I'm reading one about like the racial inequities of California. And so I haven't finished it, but he talks a lot about like the protests in Oxnard and especially like queer Chicanos. So I'm reading that right now too, which is like, it's even cooler because my uncle wrote it, you know?
That's tight. Tight. Yeah, because I've been trying to I've been in and out of this book for like, since I bought it, almost a year.
Okay.
It's called How to Be Perfect by Michael Schur.
Oh, okay.
And it's basically just like a discussion on what makes a good person and like about like ethics and just moral decisions in your life and stuff like that. And as far as I've gotten into it, it's very interesting. But my attention span, like I find like my mind just drifting and I have to reread a lot of sentences.
Yeah, me too.
So like I end up just putting it down. And I was like, no, I gotta read this when I can focus on it.
Right.
And like I've struggled with it. I just can't.
I'm a slow reader too, but I also think again like social media has literally melted people's brains. It's melted your attention span. It like, you know, you don't have to finish a book in a day. Like you can take a lot. I have a lot of books I started, which I'm like, I don't want to talk about those because I'm not done with them. Yeah. But like when I finish a book, it's like I feel accomplished. Because I'm like, it takes me a really long time. Or if it starts off slow, I'm like, fuck, man, get to the good part, you know? But no, I think, you know, social media does that. So when I'm not like online on like Instagram and shit, like, you know, I finish books a lot faster. I'm writing a lot more. But it's just like, it's kind of like this instant gratification. Like social media, every little thing is like, oh, here's the reward, here's this. And like the book is like, it's a journey, you know? But it is, you know? Yeah. But I don't know, like I want to start reading like graphic novels. I haven't really gotten into that. I've never really been into like comics and shit, but I want to start reading those too because it's like you get the art part of it as well. But I don't even know really where to start with that. No,
like do you have like a I guess a style or like a genre of like no?
I literally don't know anything. But I see people's like art and like I have a couple friends who like post a lot about that stuff. And not even like anime, but even like just like comic shit. Yeah. But I think it's a cool story and it's like cool art, but I don't read a lot of fiction. Like I like a lot of nonfiction. Yeah. So actually I have like a graphic novel. It's kind of like a summary of Karl Marx's like maiden book. I can't think of the name right now. Like it's the Communist Manifesto kind of. Oh, okay. And so it's kind of like a graphic comic because like communist theory is really hard to fucking read. Like that shit, I could not read like 3 words and I was like, dude, I'm so dumb. I literally can't read this. And so I thought that was cool. So things like that, I'm looking more to get into, but I need to finish like, I have like 3 books like with a bookmark in them still I need to finish, but eventually I'm trying to read more things like that.
Yeah, I have a couple books on my bookshelf that I don't have bookmarks, so I use like napkins or like they're just sticking out
or
from
like
the top.
fold the little corner.
Yeah. I'm trying to get back into it. Yeah. What about you, Birdie?
I recently started reading again, but I don't even want to say what I'm reading because compared to what you're reading, I sound like a little kid, dude.
Someone told me that I'm boring and that
Really?
Like, they roasted me. They're like, oh, here we go. We got
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I promise you I'm not like this PC warrior. I'm just like, it's important.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah, I'm not out there giving people like, you know, PC tickets. Like, no, you can't say that. You know, this book says right here that you as a white woman, you know. But
Man,
I
PC
think,
tickets, that's what's up.
Yeah. Shout out human garbage, you know.
Hell yeah.
No, I think so. You don't have social media and you don't read books. You just watch movies.
No, well, I like.
That wasn't a read, by the way. I was just curious.
Oh no, like I'm starting to read more, but a lot of stuff I'm reading is like science fiction.
So that's
That's
cool.
fine,
That's
dude.
sick.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, like I don't have the attention span for that. I'm more interested in like learning new things. But a lot of homies are into that shit.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of books come out first before like the big movies, and so you'll get like a sneak peek on all the good shit.
But I thought it was because I wanted to mention Isaac Asimov. I don't know if you know who that is. But I started reading it because he put out a bunch of short stories when he first started writing.
Yeah.
And like he started back out like in the 50s and 60s and shit. And like I had grabbed a book that had like a compilation of like a bunch of short stories, because like I had just been like figuring out how to like get back into like getting my attention span into reading again. And then like I saw like this dude on YouTube, he's like just find something that you like that's not reading, and then just go into literature from that piece of media into this one. So I was like, well, I mean, I'm watching a lot of science fiction shit right now. I mean, I'll just read that, I guess. But I love that guy's like literature, because like I could tell he was fully aware of like his own world.
Yeah.
Because like there's like a story that I read called Nightfall, and like you start reading it and it's like right away you're like, oh, this is a fucking science fiction story. But man, and it even relates a lot to like shit that's going on nowadays, because like the whole story is like basically like him talking about how fucked up misinformation can really be, because the whole thing is about like the world ending.
Yeah.
So there's like a group of people that are like, it is, and there's another group of people that are like, no, it's not. We'll be waking up tomorrow morning.
And he wrote this in the 60s, 70s?
Yeah.
It's so relevant.
Yeah.
And that's so relevant. And that's why I love reading, because that's a fucking piece from years, decades ago, and it's still so relevant.
Yeah, and it's
if he writes it in that way, it's like I love that shit.
Yeah, dude.
That's sick.
So like I'm looking for stuff like that it doesn't go towards like the goofy side of like science fiction, but more of like the human side. Yeah. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, like Philip K. Dick's like 2001. You know, like the novel's fucking gnarly, dude. It's so gnarly, but. Yeah. But no, I just don't watch movies, Gina.
Sorry. I sounded like I was so fucking mean. I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, loser.
No. I don't watch movies.
No, I try to keep myself busy, and I try to keep my mind busy, because like that was the whole thing about staying off social media. Is like I'm just on it all day, every day, man.
Yeah.
You lose so much time.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, focusing on like my family and with my mom, and reading and working out, because I don't want to be like 35 and like having a hard time going upstairs, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I try to keep myself busy as much as I can, but man, like you're more of an inspiration. I wish we were friends, dude, because like shit, like I would definitely be like, hey, like, what should I do today?
You want to be his? Yeah, I was about to say, you want to be his life coach?
For real, dude.
I don't know. I mean, I really don't do a lot. Like I stay home, I work, I walk my dog.
Wait, so you're the loser then?
No, I don't really feel like I appreciate that. I'm just inspired by other people, and I just take little things, you know. Yeah. I'm honestly pretty boring. I don't really do much.
Well, you don't.
But when I do stuff, I do a lot of it at once, and then I get burnt out, and then I go back into my hiding, and then I go out again once I'm recharged.
Yeah, because you definitely don't do a lot of boring stuff, for sure. But yeah, dude. I mean, like I said before, you're definitely someone that I would consider like someone that to artistically look up to. And I don't know how much time we have left.
We could wrap it up pretty soon.
Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you one more question. If it's too personal, I mean, just shoot it down.
No, I don't mind.
You know, cancel me if you want.
Break his other elbow.
I could probably.
But you said you were 29, right?
Yep. Yeah.
I'm 32, and how do you feel like getting older and like doing all these like ambitious artistic ventures and like getting more knowledge? Like, do you feel like your age slows you down, or do you feel like you're gonna reach a certain point in your age where you're just gonna be like, maybe I should slow down, or like, do you take that into account at all? Because me, as the kind of person I am, like, I'm just like, I'm scared of getting older. Like, dude, that's one of the like I'm like so scared of it. Like, it makes me stutter when I think about it. Aww. But it's like, I don't want to be that person that gives up on themselves because of their age, but I also don't want to embarrass myself and be like, learn how to ollie when you're 35, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Girl, I'm learning how to ollie right now. What the heck?
Yeah, so
age ain't nothing but a number.
There you go. See?
So I want to know how you feel about that, because I feel like you're such an ambitious person and you're so full of charisma and energy. Like, it's just,
I think all my close homies will tell you, I'm like, fuck, I'm an old hag. Like, I'm old. I'm getting old. I can't do that. It's really like, it's really like all in your head. And most of my friends are older than me, and everyone's always like, oh, 30s are the best years. But you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can do whatever you want. And you age yourself by like limiting yourself. And you hear so many stories of, like 6-year-old foos getting PhDs, like running ultra marathons and shit. There's still a bunch of like, a lot of like my favorite artists are old and fucking rocking. Like Dolly Parton. Oh, girl. Dolly is immortal, but she's older too. But like, age doesn't matter. You can't like I said, limit yourself. That being said, it still gets me. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna be 30. Like, I'm not gonna be 20 anymore. But it's fine. Like, it's like a new era. You can try new things. And I feel like a lot of people in their 20s, they're figuring shit out. You don't know who you are. Like, you don't have, you're not stable. You still kind of starting out with jobs and shit, So now I feel like getting to 30, I'm like, I have a really good job. I have like, an amazing partner, my dog. I got my bands. And I'm like, I have more resources to do more of the things I want to do. And I'm like, I'll be 100 before I know it, So I'm like, I better learn how to ollie, which hopefully I can ollie before you can, but you broke an elbow,
Yeah, that's true.
You broke an elbow trying to ollie.
I'm not going to tell you.
Still a mystery how that happened. So.
Anyways. But yeah, I wanted to know because I've been like, we're all in the same age group. So it's like, I get so curious finding out how people feel.
Like the one thing that like I definitely like reject, and I don't know that it's so much an issue in this day and age, just maybe it was before, but there's a lot of pressure on women, specifically like, oh, you're 30, when are you gonna have kids? When are you gonna get married? And even just like millennials, like I think like our parents or like the generation before us, like they probably already owned a home, they're already married, they already had kids. And, like, there's so many, like, 30-something, 40-something, we're all still going to shows, renting, like, figuring the fuck out. Like, it's a different time. It's a different generation. And so I'm, like, a lot of this, like, pressure that maybe I'm putting on myself is, like, this, it's old head mentality. It's old. Yeah. It's society telling you that you have to, like, do something, but it's different now. Like, so it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And just take care of your body, like try to be healthy. Like obviously like you're going to age, like my knees are killing me more than they ever have, but I'm like, all right, I got to stretch more. I got to take more time in recovery. Like there's things like that. But yeah, I mean, do you, girl? You don't have to worry about it.
Thanks, friend. For real.
See, he knows some terms. For real.
Yeah. Thanks though. That was the best answer that I
Yeah, make your inner child happy,
Yeah.
You're like your little kid. Oh, I never learned how to ollie. Well, fucking do that shit. You can. You got legs, girl. Do it.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
On that note, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. on a high note, that's awesome. I want to end by trying this.
Oh my gosh.
Dr. Pepper, strawberries and cream.
Wait, before I ask, Diet Coke or Dr. Pepper?
Coke Zero.
Oh.
Coke Zero, yeah.
Really?
I'm gonna have to go Coke because I don't like the diet like aftertaste on drinks.
I honestly have not really tried Coke Zero too much, but I didn't drink soda for years. Now I'm on my Diet Coke shit, and now any zero sugar soda, I'm gonna get it, which is why I have all that strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I've been on the hunt for these. Even my girlfriend has been looking for them for me, and I haven't had a chance. So.
Yeah, my girl got me into Coke Zero Cause like
I love Coke
when
Zero.
I first started dating her, like she
Shout
always
out
had one.
soda.
On her.
Yeah, right. All right, let's see.
Okay, wait. It's ASMR. You gotta let it fizz.
All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Oh, that's really good.
Really?
I like it a lot. You didn't like it?
I don't know. You know what the flavor is? It's like a blueberry, I think.
Yeah.
It's a blueberry flavor. It's like the same zero sugar. And the cream soda. Oh, my God. God himself made that for me. But the strawberries one,
really
it's cute. It's a moment, but it's not my first choice.
I like it. It's really good.
You're going to get a few on your way home.
Hell yeah. All right, well, thank you for having us in your home again.
Yeah, seriously, thank you so very much.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming out here, and thank you guys are fucking awesome. Always supporting, always doing the podcast, and that is the shit that matters. So I feel so grateful to be here. So.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to plug before we end? Any shows coming up? Specific shows?
I mean, I don't know when this is coming out, but I'm playing on the 24th. I'm playing at Rapid Skateboarding in Simi, an acoustic set. And I'm sure more things will come up in the future, but that's it for now.
Hell yeah. Well, once again, thank you. And you can find us on all our social medias at BetamaxULTD, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Search any podcast platform for Betamax and you'll find us there. Share us with your friends. And I'll have Gina's links in our bio so you could check her stuff out too, because you definitely should.
Yeah, thank you again, and I hope we talk again.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, later.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep flowing, keep moving steady.